Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session. Let's get started with today's topic list. Today is 30th of November. The first topic is RBI for widening the scope of banknote. This is to include the digital currency in circulation. Second, finding of the national health account. We'll see the detail about this as well. Third is Omicron. The risk spark call for the booster dose. Many developed countries are of the opinion that the booster shot is essentially required. The second last is how an MP are suspended. Recently, some of the member of parliament were suspended. We'll see the provisions regarding the suspensions. And the last is an editorial, a launch window for India as a space startup hub. So this is an editorial and this is an explained page, right, from the Indian Express. So everything we'll understand in detail. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there would be some MCQ based question. These questions would be based on current affairs to help you in the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give a like button. The first news is RBI for widening the scope of banknote. This is something which is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issue related to planning, mobilization, growth and development. So what is detail about this news? RBI ने recently proposed किया है amendment to the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. After this amendment, this would enable to launch the central bank digital currency, which is also known as CBDC. And this topic is very important for your prelims as well as for the mains examination, right? You have to understand this news from both perspectives. Why this move? The move by RBI come amid the government plan to introduce the cryptocurrency bill in the current parliament session. अभी जो रिसेंट में विंटर सेशन चल रही है उसमें गवर्नमेंट क्रिप्टो करेंसी के रिगार्डिंग बिल लेके आएगी. रेगुलेशन इज एसेंशियली रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज अ लॉट मोर पीपल आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन क्रिप्टो करेंसी, राइट? सो बेसिकली ये जो सेशन में बिल आनी है इसमें बात की गई है दैट सीक्स टू प्रोहिबिट all form of private cryptocurrency that is operating in India. So this is more of a regulation legislation, a bill that is coming by the government to regulate the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is a form of cryptocurrency जिसमें काफी ज़्यादा investment across the world की गई है. Now our focus is to understand the central bank digital currency. So what is CBDC? इसकी अगर बात करें एक डिजिटल फॉर्मेट है और इट इज ऑल्सो a part of fiat currency which can be transacted into using wallet backed by a blockchain and it is regulated by the central bank. तो सेंट्रल बैंक इंडिया में आरबीआई है. हर एक कंट्री की अपनी सेंट्रल बैंक होती है. यूएस की फेड रिजर्व्स है. उस तरह की अपनी हर कंट्रीज की एक अपनी सेंट्रल बैंक होती है विच इज अ रेगुलेटरी बैंक फॉर ऑल द सब्सिडरीज बैंक. Now CBDC enables the users to conduct both domestic and cross-border transactions which do not require the third party or a bank. तो इसके कुछ ये advantages भी होंगे where it would be completely on a digitalized mode. Now the introduction of CBDC has a potentials to provide significant benefits. अगर कुछ इसके potential advantages की अगर बात करें such as what are the benefit? It will reduce the dependency on the cash, higher signage होगी due to lower transactions cost and reduce settlement risk, right? Still टेक टाइम टू गेट सम सेटलमेंट बट आरबीआई ने भी आरटीजीएस और सारी जितनी पेमेंट सेटलमेंट्स हैं उनको भी काफ़ी फास्ट किया है, 24 आवर किया है. Now the introduction of CBDC would also possibly lead to more robust, efficient, trusted, regulated and legal tender based payment option. तो ये कुछ key features होंगे and it would be also giving a legal backing to the CBDC. Now they are also associated with the risk that need to be carefully evaluated and the potential benefits that an individual customers, bank and overall economy is going to have. Now क्या proposal रखी गई RBI के द्वारा? The RBI has received a proposal from the government. Basically the government has received the proposal from the RBI in October 2021 जहाँ पे आरबीआई ने कहा था कि जो रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1934 है उसको चेंजेस करने की जरूरत है टू इनहांस द स्कोप ऑफ डेफिनेशंस ऑफ बैंक नोट एंड इंक्लूड डिजिटल करेंसी फॉर्म, राइट? So this was a proposal given by the RBI to the central government. राइट, आरबीआई ने किसको भेजा था? गवर्नमेंट को भेजा था. Now, the RBI has been examining the use of case and working with the planned implementation, phased implementation करनी है इसकी for the introduction of CBDC with title or no disruptions. बिल्कुल disruptions नहीं हो, ये आराम से एक legislation की backing के through pass हो जाए. Now, if you talk about Bitcoin, there are a lot of concern about the investor who are investing Bitcoin, which is a format of a cryptocurrency. So, ministry ने यहाँ पे clear किया है that in a response to Lok Sabha, the finance ministry has said that the government does not collect any data on Bitcoin transition. This is what the government has to say. और trading जो भी cryptocurrencies होती है उसकी कोई data government अपने पास reserve नहीं रखती है. And the ministry added that the government has no proposal to recognize Bitcoin as a currency. So still गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया विथ ऑल इट्स बेस्ट पॉसिबल एफर्ट्स इन्होंने क्लियर कर दिया है कि ये बिटकॉइन को एज अ लीगल करेंसी या फिर रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करेंगे एज अ करेंसी, राइट, बिकॉज ऑफ विच जो बिटकॉइंस की वैल्यू है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में डे टू रेट भी की है. Now the other news finding of the National Health Account, this is something which is important for General Studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sector. So some of the finding has come about. So as per the recent released National Health Account, जो estimate दी गई है, this is for 2017 and 18. So this report or this survey said that out of pocket expenses जो है OOPE as a share of total health expenditure or foreign aid has both come down. This is what the report has to say. Number बहुत ही minimal है, but some positive effects in terms of reducing the burden, because अभी recent में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था डायबिटिक्स के पेशेंट्स को सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को एड करने की जरूरत है. दे नीड टू गिव सम कंपनसेशन और मॉनिटरी हेल्प टू द पेशेंट्स. तो इसमें ये देखना काफ़ी अहम होगा कि और भी कोई ऐसी डिजीजेज हैं जो आउट ऑफ पॉकेट एक्सपेंसेस ज़्यादा इनकर करती हैं एक पेशेंट्स के लिए. सो दिस डेटा इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. एज अ शेयर ऑफ टोटल हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर the OPP has come down to 48.8 जो 2017-18 में थी. बेसिकली ये कम हो गई है. पहले कितनी थी? पहले थी 64.2% in 2013 and 14. So you can see the number has decreased from 64.2 to 48.8. And even the case of per capita, अगर out of pocket expenses की बात करें, it has declined. Earlier it used to be around, you can see this was around 2336, this in 2013-14, and now it is 2097, right? Now some factor that is contributing to the decline, कौन से ऐसे factors हैं और क्यों ये decline हुई है? Definitely government की contributions बढ़ी है. One of the major factor for the decline is the utilizations and reduction in the cost of services. Government की health facilities ने अपने जो facilities हैं उनको improve किए. The reason being out of pocket expenses कम हुई है. The National Health Account for 2014-15 and 17-18 said that there is a decline in the out-of-pocket expenses to the hospital with a tune of 50%. Now, the NHA estimates की अगर बात करें, was prepared by taking into the account of the framework, जहाँ पे internationally accepted system जो है on health and account 2011, this was provided by the World Health Organization. So this report, which was being published or being released by the government, is authenticated and backed by the World Health Organization also. Now, if you talk about the government support in terms of National Health Account, तो estimates में पता चला for 2017-18 it shows that it has been increasing the share of government health expenditure in the total GDP in the country, and it has increased from 1.15 to 1.35, a marginal increase, but also something positive note has to be recognized. Additionally, government ने कहा है that the health expenditure in the total overall expenditure की बात करें, this has increased over the time. In 2017-18, the share of government expenditure was only 40.8, basically, which is much higher than अभी present में 40.8 है. 2013-14 में 28.6 हुआ करती थी. So this has increased from 28 till 40.8. So this is an increase which we have seen in terms of government expenditure. So this is again an important point for the mains examination. Now talking about the share of social security on health, which include the social health and insurance program, the government finance has said that the insurance scheme, medical reimbursement and medical employees has also increased. Now Omicron, the risk spark call for the booster dose or booster shots. This is again something which is important for general studies paper 2. Now, with the emergence of Omicron, the new virus, which is again a concern, variant of concern इसको recognize किया है WHO ने. So this says that the administration of booster dose or the third dose is essential. So the United States, United Kingdom has approved the booster dose for all adults 6 months after the completion of the second dose. So the time interval है from the second dose, it would be minimum of 6 months. After this, they can go for the booster dose. Now the study in Israel shows that the immunity against the infection dip, जहाँ पे दोनों डोजेस के बाद भी फाइजर बायोटेक की जो डोजेस लगाई उसके बाद भी री इन्फेक्शन के चांसेस बढ़े हैं. Now, expert view on the booster dose की अगर बात करें, the Omicron, the government of India said without any delay make possible all senior citizen and those with comorbidities, जिसको एक से ज़्यादा बीमारी है उन लोगों के लिए बूस्टर डोज की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी, ऐसा कहना है एक्सपर्ट का. एंड इन फैक्ट द गवर्नमेंट शुड इनेबल, encourage and assist them in getting on war footing, right? So this is what the expert has to say in terms of getting the booster dose. Now, if you talk about the risk, किस तरह के risk अभी involved हैं इसमें. So the expert committee decided to have the booster dose. Booster was necessary, and this is a stock that could be used for healthcare and frontline health worker who were higher risk despite received 2 doses. So definitely third doses is essentially would be required. Abhi for time being, this would be only required for the comorbid categories and the senior citizen people, right? So these are the 2 categories which would be essentially requiring the second dose. You can say the booster dose of third. Now divided view है, कुछ और experts की अपनी view है. The experts are of the opinion that extra protection of some group over ensuring universal immunizations. However, not everyone is concerned with the booster dose necessary for India. And the real risk of approving the booster dose in India now would mean कि जो diversions हैं, the diversion effect from more important goal, ensuring that India is incorporated by the year end. We still know that जो first dose की vaccinations है वो almost 80% हमारी वैक्सीनेशन हो चुकी है फर्स्ट डोज की, एंड फॉर द सेकेंड डोज वी हैव ओनली 40 to 38%. सो वी नीड टू इंक्रीज दिस पेस. अगर ये पेस में हमने स्लो कर दिया तो फिर थर्ड डोज का कोई मतलब नहीं रहेगा. सो द टाइम बीइंग इट इज एसेंशियली रिक्वायर्ड दैट वी हैव टू बेसिकली broaden the concept where both doses is given to the maximum number of our population. Now, at this stage, only 30% of India are fully inoculated with half of the doses, and 45% is still were vaccinated, right? And the evidence shows that the vaccine are extremely efficient against the severe disease and hospitalizations. तो कम से कम अगर 2 डोज मिल जाती है लोगों को तो हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. The transmissions can only be addressed by the COVID appropriate behavior, and this is something which is essentially need to be followed by each and every individual. Now, how and when MPs are suspended, this is something which is very important topic amid the concern that has been raised by the opposition. Recently, Rajya Sabha के कुछ members को suspend किया गया है. So this is important for General Studies paper 2, Parliament, State Legislature, Function, Conduct of Business and Privileges and Issues arising from it. This topic is very, very important for your prelims as well as for the mains examination. Make sure you read this entire chapter of Parliament from पॉलिटी, लक्ष्मीकांत की जो बुक है वहां से आप डिटेल में जरूर पढ़ लें. अ क्वेश्चन इज एक्सेप्टेड. बेसिकली रिसेंटली क्या हुआ, 12th opposition MP has been suspended and for the rest of winter session जो कि रिसेंटली स्टार्ट हुई है, कल ही स्टार्ट हुई है, उसमें कुछ 12 members of opposition को बाकायदे सस्पेंड कर दिया गया कि you cannot take part in the winter session. So the decision was taken by the parliament and had caused chaos among the opposition. The parliament has said continuous disruption since basically the passage of the farm bill. उसके बाद से पार्लियामेंट ने हमेशा विटनेस किया है कि बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्ट्रप्शंस हुई थी, एंड इवन द मॉनसून सेशन वाज नॉट प्रोडक्टिव एट ऑल. नाउ पावर ऑफ प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स की बात करें, किस कंडीशंस में एक प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर के पास पावर होता है कि वो एक एमपीज को बेसिकली डिस्क्वालीफाई करे, नॉट एक्चुअली डिस्क्वालीफाई, दे कैन आस्क देम टू नॉट टू ज्वाइन द सेशंस. सो द एमपीज आर रिक्वायर्ड टू अदर द certain rules or of the parliament etiquettes. तो ये ज़रूरी है कि जो इसके etiquettes हैं उनको follow की जाए. And suspension is for a particular session, right? So for example, लोकसभा की rule book है वो specify करती है that MPs are not to interrupt the speech of others. ये rule book में mention है. They have to maintain the silence. They have not to obstruct the proceedings. and they should not have the running commentaries during the debate. So when a minister or anyone is making a debate, they should not even interrupt them, right? And the newer form of protest has led to the ruling beginning in 1989. उसके बाद काफी चीजें change हुई हैं. We'll see that also. Now, the member should not shout slogan, they should not display placards, they should not tear up documents in protest. We have seen the people tearing the farm bill in presence of the presiding officers. And they have to play the cassette tapes. ये किस तरह की इस सारी चीज़ें को ban कर दी गई after the new rules. And the Raj Sabha also has the similar procedure and guideline. So both houses of the parliament has to follow the same norms. Now, to conduct the proceedings smoothly, the rule book also gives certain similar power to the presiding officer of the both houses. एक presiding officers जो हैं of each houses can direct an MP to withdraw the legislation chamber by grossly disorderly conduct, or MP then has to be absent from the proceedings of the house remainder for the day. और presiding officer के पास ये power है that he can also name an MP for persistent and willful obstruction of the business. So ये power जो है that is vested with the presiding officer both with the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha. और उसके बाद ये ऐसे केसेस में यूजुअली पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर मिनिस्टर्स जो हैं वो एक मोशन मूव करते हैं फॉर सस्पेंडिंग द एमपी फ्रॉम द सर्विसेज ऑफ द हाउस. सो फॉर दिस टाइम दे हैव सस्पेंडेड 12 MPs टिल द विंटर सेशन इज ओवर एंड द सस्पेंशन कैन लास्ट एट द एंड ऑफ दिस सेशन. सो ये सारी पावर्स हैं जिसकी यूज की गई है बाय द राज्यसभा प्रिसाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स. Now, new rule under 374A in 2001, the Lok Sabha rule was amended to give Speaker and one additional power, and this power empower the speakers to automatically suspend an MP for a maximum of 5 days from disrupting the business of a house. Right? ये सारी power है. This section is again important for your prelims. And in Lok Sabha, the Speaker used this power to suspend 25 Congress MPs. You must be aware of this. In 2015, I guess Sumitra Mahajan was the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and she suspended almost 25 MPs from Congress. Now, the other news, this is an editorial launch window for India as a space startup hub. This is something which is important for General Studies Paper 3. Achievement of India in Science and Technology, Indianization of Technology and Development of New Technology. So what I'm going to discuss under this editorial, there are 6 important subheads. First is India in space, space economy, the hurdles that we are facing in the sector, license and liability, role of private player and the way forward. तो पूरी editorial की जो theme है that talks about space program regulation and private player roles. So अगर बात करें the great space race की which actually originated in 20th century and it was kicked off by the Soviet Union which is also Russia nowadays and Sputnik in 1957. So ये एक शुरुआत की गई थी रशिया की तरफ से where they have started the launch of Sputnik. Now it was completed between the world greatest power. उस टाइम की जो greatest power थी, जो greatest ideology थी, they were chasing that. And during the Cold War, the United States and the Socialist Soviet Union was only emerging as a world global power. Now in space race, once again, it is a time that जो private players हैं, उनकी role काफी efficient है, evident है, but at this type of time, India की अगर बात करें, we have very limited scope of private player coming into play. और उसकी regulations भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा important है because space is something which is also considered as a sector or a topic or something which is under the internal security matters also. So commercial value के हिसाब से इंडिया ने अभी भी इस सारी चीज़ों को democratize नहीं किया हुआ. Now there's a huge implications of original equipment manufacturers in space in India and promising ventures for the global investor. So still there's no clear rules and regulation in terms of FDI or investment in the space sectors. Now बात करें India in space की, so the government of India has recently created a new organization known as InSpace. What is this InSpace? This InSpace stand for India National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. एक single window nodal agencies बनाई गई थी to boost commercialization of Indian space activities, which is doing a great job. Start की गई almost 2015 से. It will take another 5 to 10 years for India to have a commercial arm or commercial existence of private player in the space sectors. So as a supplement to Indian Space Research Organization, ये जो agency है InSpace that promote the entry of non-government private entities into the Indian space sector. तो ये शुरुआत आप कह सकते हो की इससे की गई है. And the agency will play, it will also facilitate the swift onboard for the private players through encouraging policies and friendly regulatory environment. Now, if we talk about the space economy, how it is moving today, the space economy is around 440 billion of the global sector, or India is almost less than 2% in this sector, right? So, competitive अगर बात करें US और Russia से, we are still very behind. This is despite the fact that India is a leading space far country with end-to-end capabilities. हमने काफ़ी ज़्यादा सैटेलाइट्स भी डेवलप किए हैं, लॉन्च व्हीकल्स भी डेवलप किए, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ ओवरऑल इन्वेस्टमेंट स्पेस इकोनॉमी की बात करें, वी आर ओनली कंट्रीब्यूटिंग less than 2%. While total early stage investment in space technology for the financial year was $68 billion, and India was in the fourth place with investment of around 110 firms and totaling amounting to $2 billion, right? So this is what investment for India is in terms of space economy. Now, कुछ problems, कुछ hurdles जो अभी भी exist कर रहे हैं. Another aspects that throw light in the extensive brain drain in India that is going. Many people are still, the capable brain is not there in India. They're moving to some other countries like US, NASA, and China. They're working there. They increased 85% since 2005, and the reason is the lack of private participation in this space, which include a framework to provide transparency and clarity. तो क्लैरिटी अभी भी नहीं है, बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टमेंट्स नहीं है, टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन नहीं, बिकॉज द रीजन बीइंग द ब्रेन ड्रेन इज देयर. And the law need to be broken down into the multiple section that would address each aspects of the part. यहाँ पे अगर वैल्यू चेंज की बात करें तो हमारे को जो आउटर स्पेस ट्रीटी है उसके अकॉर्डिंग्स में काम करने की जरूरत है, which all other countries like United States is also following. Now there's another issues of license and liability. So जिस तरह से टेक्निकलिटीज इन्वॉल्व होती है, बिजनेस खास करके स्पेस बिजनेस हैज इट्स ओन लाइसेंसिंग, इशुएंस एंड ऑथराइजेशन that has to make by the supervisions of the government of India. So another crucial aspect of space law is assurance of clarity regarding which entity has the liability, किसको license देनी है नहीं देनी है. There are another paperwork, NOC, red tapeism which still exists in the sector. In space ने एक platform दी one stage destinations की, but still we have to make it more hassle free. And in several Western countries, there is evolved private space industries that is capable on the financial damages that need to be paid. Now, private players की अगर बात करें, for many other countries like NASA, United States की जो है, even China has China National Space Administration, Russia की Russia Roscoms, they have seen the private players, right? उन्होंने खास करके Boeing या SpaceX की बात करें या Blue Origin की बात करें, they are the commercial operators. और इन अगर ये पेनाल्टीज में भी इन्होंने अगर कुछ उस तरह से मीट नहीं किया रिक्वायरमेंट को, तो दे हैव टू पे द पेनाल्टीज आल्सो. सो बियॉन्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सपोर्ट, सच सेंडिंग क्रूज एंड टू द इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन वाज ओनली पॉसिबल वंस दे हैव इंक्लूडेड द प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स. सो इंडिया के लिए भी एक ये बेसिकली एक आई ओपनिंग होगी जहाँ पे हमें भी प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स को इंक्लूड करने की जरूरत पड़ी. एंड द कंपनीज हैव रिवॉल्यूशनाइज्ड द स्पेस सेक्टर by reducing the cost, turnaround time, and innovations and advanced technology. So once we incorporate the private players, innovations काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती है, advanced technology use होती है, and there is no basically concern regarding the financial backing that is there. Now way forward की अगर बात करें, India space private companies की अगर बात करें, they have to generate their intellectual property as an independent product of services, that is satellite based broadband, and India can now evolve the space startup hub in the world, right? We have the potential and we can do that, but that required a legal backing or supported by the financial assistance. Now this sector is embryonic stage where possibilities are limitless और feasible business model की जरूरत है इंडिया को. However, to continue the growth engine, investors need to look upon this sector एक न्यू एज बूम की तरह इसे देखने की जरूरत है. And ISRO in turn need to enable to being as a supporter for the private player. Government need to come up where they appreciate the private player to come into that with all legal norms, and this will not only make the system more robust, it will provide more advanced technology that we can say in the space sectors. Now MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For the first question, the correct option is A. For the second question, the correct option is C. Now today's MCQ, Corruption Perception Index, consider the following steps. The Corruption Perception Index is released by Corruption Eradication Commission. India ranked has slipped among 86th position among 180 countries in the CPI. So what you have to do, you have to choose the correct option and write that in the comment section down below, right? So the second question, with his unique disability identification portal, the portal is being implemented with the view of creating national database for personal disabilities with a unique disability card in each PWD. And the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has issued the notification in mandatory for all state UTs to grant certification disability through online mode only, right? So these are some of the important statements that you have to consider. This become very evident and important for your prelims examination. So make sure to participate and write your answer in the comment section down below. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching.